Owatonna High School. Your hosts for the evening are Beth Bednar and Roger Tenney.
The Big Nine Music Festival is brought to you by Hormel Employees Credit Union, the financial friend you help build.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 1985 Big Nine Music Festival. Coming to you tonight from Owatonna High School. I'm Beth Bednar along with Roger Tenney, who is the Owatonna High School Choir Director. Hello, Roger. Nice to work with you again.
Beth, this seems like old times. This is the 4th or 5th year we've done this, and we really appreciate this, that you bring music to so many people out there in the audience.
Well, I know it is so much fun for us, and it is a great evening of entertainment for our audience. For the people in our viewing audience. You have been waiting a number of years for the Big Nine Music Festival to come back to Owatonna High School. How does it feel?
I don't know if we're waiting. It just comes around every 9 years. And so this is the 9th year. In the years I've been here, which is 25, this is the 3rd time that I've been connected with the Big Nine Music Festival in Owatonna. It feels great. It feels great to see so many enthusiastic musicians all together performing, whether in the band, orchestra, or choir, and having such outstanding adjudicators or judges here tonight that are going to direct, and you'll hear some of the music that they've done during the day.
What kind of preparations have you and your students been going through this past year to prepare for this festival?
We start almost immediately. Like Monday, we meet again to discuss music for next year, which will be held at Mankato West High School in Mankato. And Monday night, we start already working on for next year. And the first thing is to procure adjudicators or judges who will come out, who are well-known. You have to line them up a long time ahead of time. Then you select the music that they're going to do with the mass choir, mass select choir, select band, select orchestra. Then you start lining up facilities as far as food and preparation and rooms and selecting students for the select groups. So it's really a long year, a whole year project. Then the students start preparing by learning the music. The music is all memorized as far as the vocal, and the band and orchestra students work on their music in the select groups. Plus, naturally, we all perform for each other. Like, for instance, the 9 choirs performed at one of the locations today. Each choir performed for the other 8 choirs, so that music has to be perfected. It's a long process.
What kind of criteria goes into selecting the music?
Well, the thing is, in your own work, as far as a music director, you try to select music that is good for your students. It's an education, so you don't stick to one style or one type. You don't do all religious. You do secular, religious, some popular, some music that for the 20th century, music of the 16th, and so on. And that's what we want to do as far as educating the students. Give them a variety of music that they will help them to understand all periods of music.
I see. Now, I suppose it goes without saying that the Big Nine Music Festival consists of 9 schools around southeastern Minnesota.
That's right.
The 9 are Owatonna, Austin, Albert Lee, Faribault, Rochester John Marshall, Rochester Mayo, Mankato East, Mankato West, and Winona. Now, there's a select band, a select orchestra, and a select choir made up of representatives from all these schools. Is that right?
That's right. The directors for the band and orchestra send in their last list, ranking them like 1 through 25, and then the person in charge of the festival, like here would be Mr. Tarabeck and Mr. Holland, then selects the band and orchestra from the ranking done by the individual teachers in their own school. In the choral, as far as the select choir, each director or the students in one school select one person on a part, first soprano, second soprano, first alto, second alto, and so on through the men's section, 8 students. And then these 8 students join in with 8 students from each of the 9 schools to make up a choir of 72 voices. And then they start working on the music, and then they rehearse. Last Wednesday, a week ago, the adjudicators worked here at Owatonna for 3 hours with the select choir, orchestra, and band, and to try to improve and get the groups together and get them seated according to the ranking of the best to the not so best, you might say.
I know I always especially enjoy the mass choir finale at the end. It is just beautiful.
I'd like to talk about the one we have this year, which is just fantastic. I have to look at my program to see the name of it. My Soul Doth Magnify the Lord by Hank Beebe. Hank Beebe wrote this number. Hank, first of all, is from Maine, and he has written a lot of music. He's written for theater, for television, and so on, but he's written a lot of religious music and a lot of good numbers. Well, he wrote this number for choir, but he did not have it arranged for orchestra. So Owatonna Music Boosters spent $500 and commissioned him to arrange this number for our select orchestra. So tonight will be the debut of this number with the orchestra. The choir part had been written, but he wrote the arrangement with the orchestra, and I think this should be exciting.
Oh, that'll be really exciting. You should be justly proud of that, of your Music Boosters Club here in Owatonna.
Well, we are very proud of our Owatonna Music Boosters. We're proud of our school and the whole staff, but it was really helpful to have the boosters to help promote our music program.
Tell us, if you would, about the three guest conductors tonight for the select band, the select orchestra, and the select choir.
Dr. William Jones is the director of the Twin City Youth Symphony Orchestra and has done a lot of festivals throughout the United States. And he is well known in this area. He's been a Big Nine director before. The band director is Pesala, who is from from Concordia College in Moorhead. He used to be in the Big Nine when Northfield was in the Big Nine. He was one of the band directors then and played, so he brought his bands to the festival like everybody else. And now he's gone on to the Concordia College, and he's just fantastic. And then we have Weston Noble. Dr. Noble is well known in this area from Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, where he directs the Nordic Choir. He has done over 40 all-state choirs out of the 50 states. And last year he did the Minnesota All-State Choir. His college choirs are world-renowned. They've sung all over the United States and, of course, in Europe. And we've had him as an adjudicator before. So they have listened to each respectively, the three different orchestras, band, and choirs all day long and made comments. There's no winner. We just get comments and suggestions and so on. And so now tonight, they then will be the guest directors. We get these comments, we read them to our students and make some changes and so on in our program.
So it's beneficial to everyone involved, really.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, the thing is, we as directors need this. We need this critique to see what we're doing, because most communities, you don't have somebody in your area who would critique you.
Mm-hmm. Well, Roger, we are really looking forward to this evening. And I guess
I wanted to mention, this is the 53rd year. This is the oldest music festival in the United States.
And that is something to be proud of.
That's something to be very proud of. It's a festival, not a contest, which I am strongly support, because the thing is, the students come together to hear one another. They don't go home thinking we're the number one or anything like that. Also, they have to listen to, they want to listen to one another, as compared to a contest where they perform mainly for themselves and the judge, and that's it. So we're really so much in favor of a festival like this.
Well, the audience certainly has a wonderful evening entertainment to look forward to.
You're right.
Thanks again, Roger. And we're going to take a break right now. We will return for the Big Nine Music Festival from Owatonna High School.
If you need to borrow money for a new car, you could always count on your family. There's your Rich and Gladys. And don't forget about your brother-in-law, Rocco. Or you can get an auto loan from our family, your credit union family. Credit unions can give you an auto loan at such a low rate, you could afford to buy something nice for your Aunt Gladys.
The Hormel Employees Credit Union, the financial friend you helped build.
Some copiers don't adjust for exposure. Some don't adjust for odd size originals. Some give you copies after they've run out of toner. But the new Sharp SF8200 Zoom copier automatically adjusts for exposure, paper size, and it turns off when it's out of toner. The Sharp SF8200 Zoom copier. It won't turn your work into garbage.
See Devney's Office Machines in Mankato and Schmidt-Goodman Office Products, Rochester.
Harold's the envy of the neighborhood. Let me take a spin. Since he got his new set of wheels, a Snapper lawn tractor. Sam was surprised. It had tilt steering. Carol was captivated by the powerful high vacuum action, and the 12 forward speeds floored Phil.
Harold, finished?
Almost.
Receive a free work-saving attachment during Snapper's Super Value Days. To arrange for your demonstration of any Snapper product, stop in and see Jim at Geneva Standard in Geneva.
Well, as evidenced by the rehearsals that we heard earlier this afternoon, it's fair to say we have a wonderful evening of entertainment ahead. Let's go to the Big Nine Music Festival.
And When the occasion comes along that we have a retiring band director, we'd like to have that band director start the festivities by conducting the national anthem. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you John Berg from Mankato East High School. Our national anthem.
All right, coming up very shortly now, Roger, the Big Nine Select Orchestra. Maybe you could give us a rundown of what we're going to hear.
Directed by Dr. William Jones. They'll be performing the Barber of Seville Overture by Rossini, Brandenburg Concerto No. 3 in G major by Bach, and of course this is Bach's 300th anniversary. Symphony No. 2, Opus 30 by Hansen.
Here we go.
It's my distinct pleasure to welcome for the Big Nine Music Festival a very distinguished clinician, adjudicator, known worldwide, Dr. William Jones from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
the Big Nine Select Orchestra with the guest conductor, Dr. William Jones. We'll be back in just a moment with the Big Nine Select Choir. Stay with us.
On ABC's All My Children, who killed Zach Grayson?
I hated Zach Grayson. He made my wife live a nightmare.
He stripped away my dignity and blackmailed my father.
I'm glad that swine is dead. Whoever killed him did a service to mankind.
Everyone in Pine Valley wanted Zach Grayson dead.
Every one of us. Play detective. Watch All My Children weekdays on KAAL TV6.
Zach Grayson thought he'd live forever. Some people don't get what they want. They get what they deserve.
And now for today's TV6 memo. The Moore County Council for the Handicapped will hold a regular meeting on May 7th beginning at 7 p.m. in room 109C at the Austin AVTI. If you would like more information about the council, call 433-3638. The Well Elderly Clinic of Sarasota County will be in Plymouth at the United Methodist Church on May 6th and in Doherty at St. Patrick's School on May 8th. The clinic is for persons 60 years of age and older and is free of charge. And that's all for today's TV6 memo.
Channel 6 also awards a $250 scholarship to a student chosen by the music instructors from each of the schools in the Big Nine. The students were chosen by their instructors to receive this $250 to be used for college, possibly to go on into music. And I'll read each student and the school. Would you please refrain from applauding until I've read the whole list? From Albert Lee, Sue Ford. From Austin, Liesel Schindler. From Faribault, Allison Wallace. From Mankato East, Alan Olson. Mankato West, Karen Lockensgaard. From Owatonna, Todd Benjamin. From John Marshall, Jennifer Parker. From Rochester, Mayo, Brian Wilson. And from Winona, Kelly Lochner. Would these people please stand and receive an applause? Might mention the fact that most of these students participate in all three organizations, which is wonderful. It is my privilege to introduce to you the director of the Select Choir and the Mass Choir. Dr. Weston Noble is well known in the music circles. He is also well known in the Big Nine as he has been the adjudicator here several times. He has directed 43 all-state choirs. Also, he's probably the only one that's known to have directed all-state choirs, bands, and orchestras. I don't know what's happened to the other 7 states that haven't caught on, but I think they will soon. He is fantastic. The students love him. You'll love the music that he does. Dr. Weston Noble. I would like to announce also
Our two vocal soloists